squeezing in.
Good morning, Founder Square. Oh, come on, guys. It's an honor to be here today. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all y'all coming out to hear me. Y'all all are here for me, right? That's what I thought. With me today, I've got my wife, Marcy. I've got my son, Max. I've got my daughter, Merritt. Y'all heard yesterday, Mike and Ted Evans, who in the house we call Big Country, said all he wanted was for his daughter to give him his Visa card back. Well, Merritt just gave me my Visa card back. She just graduated from college with honors. My other daughter's still in college. She's in school today, so she's not here with us. But I'm proud of all of them. My wife, Marcy, is about to attend seminary. So I want y'all to help me by praying for her while she prays for me. Lord knows I'm going to need it. This campaign has given me a chance to travel all around our state and meet Mississippians from every walk of life. And you really don't have to travel too far to see that opportunity remains out of reach for a lot of people. And it's further out of reach than it's really ever been. It's true for white and black. Hardship makes no distinction. I've gone through poor white neighborhoods where the parents are unemployed, selling crystal meth, and the kids are in the street with nobody watching them. I've been in black neighborhoods where gun violence has reached alarming proportions, and parents, police, and ministers aren't even sure which way to turn for help. That's a grim picture, I know, but I'm not here to sugarcoat things for you folks. I'm here to fix the problem. How did we get here? How did we get here? When I was a boy, a kid could graduate from high school, then go down the road and get a job at the International Paper Company or some other factory and support his family. You know as well as I do that that's ancient history. Those jobs are gone, folks. And the people who are promising you that they're going to bring those jobs back, well, they've been promising that for an awful long time. Even when I was a boy and we had those factories, Mississippi was at the bottom of every measure of the quality of life. When it comes to good stuff, we're always last. When it comes to the bad stuff, we're always first. Folks, I'm tired of Mississippi being at the bottom. My opponent, Roger Wicker's been sitting in Congress for 24 years. When Roger went up there, Mississippi was sitting at the bottom. And 24 years later, things are exactly the same here. Except now the bottom sunk even lower. What has Roger done to bring those jobs back? When you see him come on TV this fall telling you the stock market's at a record high and unemployment numbers look great, look around Neshoba County, and Winston County, and Kemper County, and Scott County. Man, you don't have to look too long to see which way Mississippi's economy's going. We're sitting idle while the rest of the country's got his foot on the gas. You tell Roger that and see what he's got to say. Now, Roger said he wasn't going to speak here today. Now I hear that he is going to speak. I think it's good he changed his mind. Roger Wicker and I have some real differences of opinion, and y'all gonna have a real choice in November. That's why I asked Roger to debate me. And I see these debate signs out here. Y'all hold those up. Y'all brought those for me, didn't you? I appreciate that. Because I asked Roger to debate me in every congressional district in this state. I sent the letter on June 28th, the day after I won the runoff. And guess what? All I've heard is crickets. No reply whatsoever. The Mississippi Bar Association invited us to debate. I agreed immediately. Roger didn't respond. Now the Law School of Mississippi College, they've asked us to come to a round table. I guess Roger's going to decide not to do that one too. So since he won't debate me, and voters don't get to hear us side by side talking about issues important to you and to our state, then I got to tell you this. In the Mississippi I know, if a man isn't willing to stand toe to toe and defend his beliefs, then he does not deserve your vote. Stop dodging me, Roger. Roger the Dodger has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? I like that, thank you. Now Roger's gonna get up here in a few minutes and a little bit later and tell you something like, Baria loves Hillary, or Baria's a lawyer. And he's partly right. I'm a lawyer. I've been a lawyer for 28 years and I'm proud to be the first lawyer in my family. I'm proud that I represent people instead of big corporations. Roger Wicker represents corporations, not you. The people that I've represented over the last 28 years have had everything at stake in their cases. If they lost, they may have to move their family. Maybe their kids wouldn't go to college. Maybe they'd have to file bankruptcy. I consider it an awesome responsibility to help people under those circumstances. And I ain't ever going to apologize for it. Do y'all know why I got into politics? Well, I want you to know. In 2005, my family's home was totally destroyed by Hurricane Katrina. We lost everything. A month later, our oldest child died. That's rock bottom, folks. You can't get any lower than that. And I'm not telling you this to get your sympathy, folks. I'm not. I'm telling you that I know what it's like to lose everything and have nothing. I know what it's like to worry about the basics, like how to put food on the table, clothes on your children's back, and a roof over your head. Since my first day in the legislature, I've resisted labels. I've never let party get in the way of a good idea. And I don't let anybody pigeonhole me. What I've done is to stand up. To stand up for what's best for the working men and women in this state. The people who live paycheck to paycheck. Roger Wicker went to Washington to protect the big money corporate interests that I've been fighting against. For 24 years, he's voted just like Mitch McConnell and the lobbyists have told him. Am I right? Look, folks, I'm going to Washington for one reason, to fight for you. And I don't care what party you belong to. If you live in Mississippi, I'm on your team. Now, some people will tell you this Senate race is a foregone conclusion. Don't believe them. I'm here to tell you that's not true. You want to know why? Because Mississippi is a football state. Let me ask you this. Whether you root for Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Southern Miss, or some other team, if your team had finished last, for 24 years, finished in last place, would you keep your coach? I don't believe so. Well, Roger Wicker's been sitting in Congress for 24 years, and all 24 of those years, we've been in last place in Mississippi. Folks, it's time to fire the coach. And I'm asking you to get off the bench and join me. It's to help me start pulling our state out of 50th place. It's way past time. The truth is, everybody here knows that we're long overdue for change in Mississippi. We need somebody who will stand up to the McConnells and the Schumers and the Pelosi's in Washington. Mississippi needs somebody who's not afraid of the president, who'll stand with him when he does what's right, but who'll stand up to him when he does what's wrong, no matter who's in the White House. Above all, Mississippi needs somebody who will first and foremost represent Mississippians, like my family and yours, not special interest. If you send me to Washington as your next United States Senator, that's exactly what I'll do. Now, folks, right here in this historic pavilion in 1980, Ronald Reagan spoke here, and I want to quote what he said. This once proud country, this country that all the world turned to and looked to as a shelter, as a safety, and as the anchor to windward. Today, our friends don't know whether they can trust us, and certainly our enemies have no respect for us. That's a direct quote from President Reagan right here 38 years ago. Those words are truer today than they were in 1980. Ronald Reagan won the Cold War. He kicked some Russian butt. When our current president goes overseas and hugs up to Vladimir Putin, we at least expect our senator from the state of Mississippi to stand up to the Russians, don't we? I believe nothing less than the character of America is at stake in 2018, and too many politicians are putting party over country. We must hold those who would do harm to us accountable. I love our country and I love Mississippi just like you do, and I want to hold on to our traditions. But we've got to make some changes to get out of 50th place, folks. We just need some leadership. The stakes in this race are high. We can keep doing the same thing the same way and send a rubber stamp back to Washington, or we have a chance to send somebody to Washington who will stand up and be a voice of the people. Look, I know that tough problems don't have simple solutions. If they did, they'd already been solved. But to solve a problem, you have to face the problem. And I can face the problem, folks, because there's nothing out there that's worse than what I've already faced. I have no fear. I will always stand up for the working people of this state. I'll stand up for you even if you don't vote for me. I want to go to Washington and fight for everyday Mississippians. If you want that kind of senator, if you feel that that's what you deserve out of your United States senator, then on November 6th, go into that polling place, pick up that ballot, and vote for David Baria. Thank you. I appreciate you being here today. God bless America. God bless the great state of Mississippi.